Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a keto/fitness Q&A. I get lots of questions and I figured what better way to answer them than to do it in a video, because answering them by email sometimes just gets so tedious and time consuming. So I figured if I answered some of the questions in a video, everyone could benefit. So if you're interested in seeing this Q&A, please keep watching. Okay guys, so my first and most asked question lately is, why did I decide to start lifting heavy, and at what point, and basically everything surrounding it. So here's the deal. Being on keto for almost 2 years now, I really regret not doing this sooner. I do always say not to start lifting heavy in the gym early on, just because of the transition that your body needs to go through in burning sugar versus burning fat. I feel if you start lifting heavy early on, especially while you're still transitioning, you have a tendency to be really weak in the gym. I've had clients of mine pass out, which just because they're just doing too much and they don't have the energy yet. I've also noticed that people go through keto flu and things like that, and I just don't think it's advisable lifting heavy early on. So in my case, if I could go back and give myself some words of wisdom when I first started, because I get that question asked a lot, would be several things. Number one, don't start training too soon. However, don't wait 2 years, guys. Don't wait 2 years. You know, if you're active before this whole process and you were in the gym and whatnot, you might see a decrease in your energy levels, but because you're already conditioned, I'm not going to steer you in the wrong direction, but I just think you should take it easy. If you've never worked out in the gym, or it's been years since you've worked out, I recommend always waiting about 12 weeks just to give your body time to transition. But that doesn't mean when I say don't exercise or don't do anything like that, I'm not saying do nothing. I'm saying maybe early on, you know, you go for walks, or you decide to take the stairs instead of an elevator, or you park farther away from the store entrance and instead of searching for 2 hours for the closest spot. Do some activity. You could sit on your couch and lift your legs up and down. During commercials, if you're watching TV, you could get up off the couch and sit down on the couch, and up and down and up and down. There's lots of things you can do that won't totally make you fatigued early on. The second thing I would tell myself, moving back in time, if now this point in time could go back and talk to the Feliciannurse when she first started, there's lots of stuff I would say. Number one was the fitness thing. Number two is you have to realize that eating high fat is paramount in this way of life. However, knowing what I know now, the fat is predominantly to keep you satiated. You don't, through this whole process, need to continue eating high fat. Your fat can be tweaked. Early on, when you're going from a sugar burner to a fat burner, you will be hungry. Some people say instantly they're not hungry anymore, but there are times, especially in the first few weeks, you know, the first week or two, you might be extra hungry and then it dissipates, but it sometimes comes back. Your body transitions, and it's not an easy 1, 2, 3 transition. It takes time. So I do recommend that you watch your fat intake. Eat the high fat to keep yourself satisfied. But once you get to that point where you're switched over and you're no longer hungry, I see lots of you in the group saying that you can go hours upon hours without eating, then you don't need to have your fat so high, because what your goal is to burn the body fat, not the ingested fat. Does that make sense? I hope so. Another thing I would tell myself is that this is not a linear process. It's not the same. So I would recommend myself to change up my eating, because early on I was a creature of habit. It was like I found what worked for me. I started dropping weight and I just ate the same. And as time goes by, like anything, you become efficient. So if you eat the same foods all the time, it's not going to hurt you. But most of us start this plan because we eat too much. And we want to use keto to lose the body fat. It's not because you have a seizure disorder or any kind of medical thing. Maybe you have PCOS, maybe you have thyroid issues. That's great. There's so much you can eat on keto, and a lot of people don't know that. There's tons of veggies that you can eat, tons of lean protein, fatty protein. It doesn't always have to be the fatty protein. You can eat lean turkey, but you're going to add in some dietary fat, coconut oil, avocados, bacon grease, ghee, anything, tallow. But keep in mind, as time goes on, you don't have to have your fats jacked. That would be something I would tell my earlier self, because I found up until about one and a half years into it, I was eating too much fat for myself. I found that once I started tweaking my fat and bringing it down a little bit, increasing my lean protein or my fatty protein, whatever you choose, it made a difference. It definitely made a difference. I was able to burn more body fat by not taking in as much, and I wasn't needing it to be satisfied. It was just, that's the way it rolled. So that's something I've learned, and I would go tell my former self. Another thing that I get asked a lot is, how much weight have I lost? Well, I was at 50 pounds, lost a few months back. Then I got into this massive stall. It was like the same few pounds, the same few pounds, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And that is when I decided to tweak things up. I changed my macros. I upped my carbs to 35 grams a day. I upped my protein. I decreased my fat in way of nutrition, and it seemed to kickstart everything. Then I got myself back into the gym, and that was it. I mean, it has just been amazing. So right now I'm actually trying to put weight on. If that sounds counterintuitive, oh my gosh, I know, it's scary. I'm trying to build lean muscle, and lean muscle is smaller and denser than fat of the same weight. So if you have 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of lean muscle, the muscle and the fat both weigh the same amount, 5 pounds, right? But lean muscle takes up less space. So your body composition changes. That's why a lot of us say, hey, I'm not losing weight on the scale, but I feel my clothes getting, looser, and I see my body changing. That is what you want. You want that to happen. So anyway, that's what happened to me. So I'm actually trying to gain some weight. I'm in the phase of building muscle, and the only indicator that I have right now is through my scale. I measure my body fat, and then with that, I could see body fat going down, and if the scale goes up a little, which it has by 2.5 pounds, hopefully that's lean muscle, and I definitely can feel it, see it, and I notice the changes in my body. Okay, another question that I get asked a lot is good sleep really important? I totally think it is. For myself, I can only speak for me. I notice that when things are on my mind, or if I'm under, any kind of pressure or stress, I don't sleep as well. Those are the times where I can see I'm not as productive in the gym. I'm not as productive during the day. I have a tendency to crave things that I normally wouldn't eat when that happens. So yes, sleep is paramount. You must get good, deep sleep. Dreams, they become vivid. I truly believe it. It happens all the time. And you guys look back on one of my videos I have on vivid dreams. I've always been in tune to my dreams, but I really notice since this whole keto process, when I get good deep sleep and when I am burning fat, I have dreams that are like extremely realistic, and they're like spooky crazy, and I remember them. And so yeah, I do notice when I have really good sleep, that is when I'm most successful. So keeping the cortisol levels down because you're overstressed is so important, and getting that good night's sleep. So I know I used to work overnight shift as a nurse. My sleep was terrible. I was always stressed out, always fatigued, and that is when I started gaining all my weight. It's like funny how you can correlate that. I was always tired, I was always hungry, I was always looking for a quick energy, and that comes from the glucose, the white junky processed crap. So anyway, now that I'm back on day shift and on this keto journey, I notice that sometimes my sleep is crappy. That's just normal. And other times it's really good, and when it is really good, that's when I am on point. So sleep is very important. Another question that I get asked quite often is, how many days a week do I exercise? Guys, I exercise 7 days a week, and I know a lot of people don't recommend that. However, I'm one of those people that can actually set goals for myself and do really well for a really long time, and then for some weird reason, I trickle off and fall apart. That's the way my life has always been. Very good at goal setting, very detail oriented. I'm like all or nothing, all or nothing. And then as time goes by, it's like either I lose interest or I feel like something's not working. So on, what was it, an Instagram post, I think yesterday, I posted my routine Monday through Sunday. I do work out 7 days a week. Saturdays and Sundays are not heavy lifting. They're predominantly cardio and yoga, and then I have one class that's full body workout with some weights and cardio. But Monday through Friday is body parts. And so for instance, one day I do chest and triceps, another day back and biceps, another day shoulders, abs, glutes, another day legs. So you get the gist. I think it's important for me to go every day, because I find if I don't go 1 or 2 days, that's when I'm going to trickle off. So I am set, I'm focused. It's just part of my day, right? Like getting up, brushing your teeth, and going to work. Sometimes you don't feel like it, but you have to do it. So we go. Same thing with the gym. It's almost like a job. That's how I'm treating it. I have to go to the gym every day. There's times, guys, where I come home from work and make dinner, want to chill out, take a nap, clean the house, whatever. And I don't go to the gym till like almost 10 p.m. That is not ideal for me because I am not a big night owl. I like to do it early in the day and just unwind. But I got to get it in. And those days I still do it. I kind of say to myself like, all right, I don't feel like going, but if I can just get myself there, maybe do what I'm there to do and then leave. But then what happens is when I get there, I feel really good. So it's like, why not do it, right? So anyway, 7 days a week, I am exercising. Another question is, how much water should I be drinking every day? Meaning you guys. I always said 8-ounce glasses of water is sufficient, because I feel like if you drink too much water, you're going to be urinating a lot. And you can have some sodium and potassium losses that way. And you guys know it's not always easy to get potassium on keto. There are certain foods, avocado, spinach, sardines, things like that, that do contain good amounts of potassium, but for some it's difficult, and we truly never seem to hit our potassium goals. Now, I wouldn't suggest running out and taking a supplement for it if you need it. If you have labs and your potassium is low, your doctor will prescribe a supplement for you. But on its own, I don't think you really need to stress over it. But I do think drinking too much water, especially if you're not exercising, can work against you. What I have done lately is definitely increase my water intake. At the gym, I bring a gallon of water with me, and I'm almost at a gallon a day. I drink 4 liters religiously during the day. I love Fiji water, so I always have 4 of those liter-sized containers with me. And I do go to the bathroom a lot, but since I've upped my carbs and included berries like raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, and things like that, I have a little bit of extra in way of vitamins coming in through the berries. So, but the average person, 64 ounces of water is sufficient. I do get asked this question, will I be keto forever? So, that's a really hard question. Keto has allowed me to evolve as a person. I've learned so much. I do understand the physiology of it and how it works within the body and why it's such an amazing way of life. Will I be on this forever? I don't know if I will be fundamental keto forever at 20 grams religiously without fruit and things like that. I am enjoying my upped carb intake a little bit. It's not crazy. It's another 15 grams a day, which with the exercise I'm doing and whatnot, it's not a big deal for me. It was scary at first because it was everything I never said I would do, but you know what? I've evolved, I'm working out hard, and that's what I'm doing. So I think I will be keto forever or low carb or what have you, but I have no problem tweaking things up when I have to.